is 1915, and this is the year my life went to shambles. It all started when I bought that Ouija board back in 1914. In World War I came back home to my wife cheating on me with one of the men in my unit. We divorced, and I was the single parent with a pet chicken named Rufus and a young son. One night we were having a party with a couple friends on base, and we were playing Truth or Dare. I was dared to bring out the Ouija board and try to see if the mystical powers associated with it were true. We had been seancing the mystical demons for a couple hours. The only answers we were receiving were a simple yes or no. While we were cleaning up after the party, we threw the Ouija board away because something just felt off. Later that night, I woke up to the overwhelming smell of smoke, only to find out later that the Ouija board that I had previously thrown away was on fire in the trash can. You won't believe this. Rufus was gone, along with my son Billy. This picture was laying on the ground beside the planchette that was burning, which is the picture I've got up on the stream. After I lost my son and chicken, life was never the same. On occasion, I would randomly see Rufus, but he no longer knew who I was, though. What's going on, Spider Pig? His eyes had become pitch black with fiery red pupils. Rufus was no longer the chicken I remember. One night, I was asleep in bed. I heard a faint tapping on the window, which was unusual because I didn't have trees near my bedroom window. I opened the blinds, and to my ultimate surprise, Rufus was staring through the window, trying to gain entrance to the house. My son's shirt was blood covered and torn to shambles on the back patio, surrounded by bloody chicken footprints. It had been about a year since my beloved son went missing, and I rarely see my beloved chicken Rufus. I have received orders to relocate to a new base. My hopes of finding my son Billy are dwindling to nearly nothing. The night before I was supposed to relocate, I was sitting out on the patio with a couple of my military buddies drinking a few beers when all of a sudden, Billy was riding on Rufus's back, holding a long Bowie knife and a Colt 1911 in his other hand. Rufus somehow began to bark like a wild wolf at me. Fuck. This is where he got points off because it sounded racist. Billy began to make crazy Native American noises. Billy hopped off and screamed. Fuck. Billy hopped off and screamed in screech. In our shock, we all looked away for a brief second. The next thing we know, Rufus and Billy are both gone again. Dude, this story, bro. Oh, God. The year is now 1918, and I have been stationed in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I have not seen Billy or Rufus for the last 2 years. I finally thought my crazy life was becoming normal again. Things were not normal at all. One night, I again heard a strange tapping at my window. Once again, it was Rufus. This time, instead of Billy's bloody shirt, there were hundreds of barking chickens behind Rufus.
Hold up, I gotta interrupt you. It's cooler than titty in a brass bar outside, bro. Okay, go ahead. I know where you're at.
There were hundreds of barking chickens behind Rufus, all flying and breathing fire. Which is just fucked up and weird. Dude, Prinkle Pants, you came back to the greatest story ever. Alright, one night while we were running drills, Rufus, Billy, and the chicken army had arrived. Holy Mother of God, there started the Battle of Rufus. Billy let out the same screech from 2 years ago, and Rufus barking like a hellhound, his chicken army began to charge. We had to open fire on the chickens. Somehow it was not effective at all. The chickens just seemed to absorb our bullets. They also seemed to be getting stronger the longer we shot at them. CyberX63, my YouTube is shit. Hold on, let me see. There it is. Billy climbed a tree with the agility of a wild squirrel. While screeching, he jumped out of said tree, shooting his M1911 at me while attempting to cut my throat with his Bowie knife. I drop-kicked him to the jaw and sent him flying over my head. I heard the loud thump that he hit the ground. I heard the loud thump that he hit the ground with right before a single gunshot. I turned around in shock, only to see an exit wound through the back of Billy's head. The gun managed to go off and he shot himself. To my disbelief, he was still standing with the same blacked out eyes that Rufus has. Rufus and his chicken army, equipped with razor talons and fire-breathing juju sauce, has started to attack even stronger than before. Within a mere couple of hours, Rufus and the chicken army, along with Billy, had taken over the base. There was nothing else we could do to stop them. All hope was lost. Everyone was dead except me. I confronted Rufus and Billy commanded Rufus to lunge at my throat. Right before Rufus grabbed my throat, I woke up shaking, covered in sweat, back on my cot in the front lines of World War I. It is December 26, 1916, and I haven't yet returned home to see if everything was true. It was a creative writing story, and it was just, we literally just went with it.